So I'm just walking down the street, uh, and I noticed they're pulling over these young men. I'm just here, I'm not going to interfere what they got going on. Don't interrupt them so-called investigation. But I'm just making sure that these dudes right here don't shoot the young man here or escalate because they do that a lot in this country. So from the looks of it, it's a young man here. You guys good? You guys good? You guys weren't speeding? I got a YouTube channel, bro. I record every time they pull over blacks and browns, bro. Were you speeding or anything, bro? All right, cool. All right. You guys good? You guys don't mind if I stand here just to make sure you guys don't get shot or nothing like that? All right, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, dude, I'm just gonna wait here, make sure these, I'm gonna make sure these two young men look like really young, and make sure they don't shoot these guys because I've experienced that. I haven't been shot, or at least not yet, but I've experienced a lot of cops reaching for their gun, Porterville PD and Lindsay PD, and you know, so I'm just making sure. Always make sure you do have the right to film police while they're conducting their duties. Just make sure you're at least 10 feet. And I had to ask these young men questions here, and I'm just gonna wait. I don't want to leave, dude. I don't want to leave until pretty much these officers leave these kids alone. I heard him asking him, "Whose car is this?" I don't know if it's his parents or his mom's, but I don't know. But I guess they'll find any little reason to pull people of color over. But you can tell there's raza right there. There's nothing but Hispanics in there. My people. I don't know. This is someone's son. This is someone's brother. It's always good to film police because when they're pulling people over, it's kind of out in the cuts. Kind of hardly any, it's on the side of the building, so hardly any witnesses. So, we're living in times where you just got to pull out your phone. You got to film because, it does break my heart when I see cops killing blacks and browns. And, yeah, I do take it to heart. So, you know, I'm not the only one. We're millions all over the country, and we're starting to record, starting to record and, take heed to all this. Buenos dias, buenos dias. I remember that officer that from the Hope team. He said he don't like my YouTube channel because of what I stand for. So he went out of his way to kick me out of the homeless shelter. And well, it's not gonna deter me, or it's not gonna discourage me to still stand up for my beliefs. And I believe we all have equal civil rights, and we have the right to exercise and freedom of speech, freedom to public press, and you know, not a lot of people have the balls or the courage to film when cops are pulling people over. They're scared. Some people are scared. Um, there's also those thin blue line bootlickers, where they say support the blue, back the blue, and as they walk away, they look back, a little neck breaker, and they say, "God, I hope that don't happen to me." They support them out of fear. It's never fully a full embrace and support, like for example, Muhammad Ali, you know, Malcolm X, Martin Luther, Chavez. These people were fully embraced. But we're talking about people that are armed to the teeth, bro. They're armed to the teeth. They got guns, and obviously the rap sheeting history here in America where they're just trigger happy. And I'm not gonna, every now and then I see this happening a lot, but I'm always running errands, and I'm like, man, I can't stop and film. But when I do have time, I do film, and just because this happens a lot, it happens a lot. Make sure when you're filming police, keep at least 10 feet. so they won't say you're obstruction of justice or anything like that.